way down we go, 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 go. Way down we go, 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 go. So way down we go.
Welcome back to the Goodfellers Podcast, episode 2. What's going on, Aidan?
Not much. What's up with you, Jack?
Not much. So, we just got back from a trip to Orlando. Did some Disney, did some Universal. I think we got to talk about that first because there's so much that we could talk about that little
Oh my God.
adventure. First thing, it's like, and I'll start off and obviously add as much as you want, but it's like, at what point do you say, I think it's time for me to stop going to Disney? Like,
Probably when you're not 10.
I'm going through these parks, and I'm like, all right, you know what? I get it. You've got, parents running with little kids. That's whatever. We've got kids going to, schools. Okay, I get it. I even get the 70-year-old people, the grandparents, they want to relive the whatever. I don't get the 35-year-old guy running 15 miles an hour to get online to a ride. Like, come on, buddy.
That's it's sad. It's really sad. Like, I'm just going. We're just going, trying to get on a ride. And while me and my class just going through, seeing what's available, we have these 40-year-old women and men, like, trying to jerk past everybody in order to get on a different ride. Like, come on. What is wrong with you? There's children here. And,
I get the love for Star Wars. Like, this is where I at least saw the most of Hollywood studios. Like, I get the love for Star Wars. Whatever. I get it. I like Star Wars. We've talked about this in the last episode. I get the love for it. But come on, guy. You're running 15 miles an hour, pushing tots over, so you can get in line to Star Wars Meet the Resistance?
It's funny. It's funny and very sad. And, when I was in Disney, I saw some of the most interesting characters I think I may have ever seen or will ever see in my life.
Yeah, it brings out the creatures of the world, as we can say it.
Like some of the lowliest degenerates.
Exactly. Not even to be judgmental, but it's just like, do you look at yourself when you leave your house? That's I guess that's really my point with this whole thing. It's like, and that can go both directions. Like, do you realize that maybe you should not be going to Disney and taking off work to go to Disney at 45 without kids? That's part A. Part B is like, why are you leaving your house with bolognese all over your white t-shirt? Like, that's gotta be a problem. At some point, you have to say, I'm not going to go out of my house with vodka sauce on your khaki shorts and like bolognese or wine all over your white shirt. Like, that's gotta stop.
Well, dude, I mean, technically, in their defense, standards have dropped drastically over the last few years, and like the way people dress, it's kind of scary from a certain point of view. And
you know what? I'm sick of that excuse because people are like, oh, COVID brought in this new thing. Guy, why are you going to Peter Luger in sweatpants? Like, ask that question yourself at home, and then realize maybe I should not go out of my basement in sweatpants and a t-shirt to a $400 restaurant. That's all I'm saying. I just think I'm tired of hearing the COVID excuse.
Dude, COVID's been over for years now, basically. Like, how long has it been over for? At minimum, a year or two.
Yeah, I mean, like, not even, like, obviously, I'm not, like, saying COVID was very serious, and obviously, it had lasting effects. But at some point, you gotta stop using it for excuses about how you dress, what you do. Obviously, like I said, if you're not comfortable going in public spaces, that's totally different story. That's a health thing. But, like, don't blame COVID does not deserve your lack of dressing. Don't blame your lack of dressing on COVID. COVID did not deserve that.
I mean, the children at Disney don't deserve to see people half naked just because of COVID.
Oh my God, I really don't. I don't get it anymore. On the topic of Disney, I just thought of this the other day. It's like, I didn't realize people's, like, obviously Disney's still big, but maybe because we're older now. But like, I didn't realize that I was such a huge, like, like a huge vacation spot. Like,
I didn't realize that. I didn't know that there's that many people going, because I can't tell you how many times when we were taking the bus from different parks, there's just tons of people. Like, it's not even classes; it's just people going on trips and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I really didn't realize that. So,
Yeah, it was kind of surprising.
I gotta ask, what do you think's the best ride? Now, personally, before I even ask you, I personally think Universal is better than Disney by a long shot. I know there's some people that disagree. I don't really care. I think Universal is definitely more like fun. You know, like if you're looking for rides, you go to Universal. If you're looking for an experience, maybe you go to Disney. But that's just my opinion. But what do you think the best ride is at Disney? We'll get to Universal in a second.
I'm gonna be honest. I only got 2 rides at Disney because each line was like 3 hours long, so I didn't really get to do anything except like Space Mountain. So
and then
I guess I'm gonna go Space Mountain.
And then, well, I guess when I say Disney, I mean any Disney park. So let's say Epcot, Hollywood Studios, right? All Disney parks, Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, whatever it's called, all those different parks. What do you think was the best of all of those? I should have said that at the beginning. So all Disney parks.
Gotcha. Well, that's a hard one because I don't know. I went on some really cool Star Wars rides, but I don't know if those really count as rides. Because
Sorry, go ahead.
Because there's roller coasters, and then there's like that, which is almost like a virtual reality experience. Because it's almost like the Fast and Furious ride at Hollywood Studios, and that was the worst thing I've ever been on. So I would never consider that a ride.
Well, hold on a second though. Like the Star Wars rides, I feel like at Hollywood Studios, I wouldn't say they're equivalent to the Universal Fast and Furious because
no, they're much better than that.
I feel like they're more like a
similar genre.
You know, like the Spider-Man ride. You guys do Spider-Man at Universal?
Oh yeah, I had one kid who did it 20 times.
I feel like it's like that. You know, more of a like it's still a good ride, but it's heavily dependent on the story, virtual reality, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I think it mainly depends on like how good and interactive it is.
Yeah. So what do you think though? You gotta give me an answer, man. Best ride, I don't care if it's a roller coaster or if you pick your nose, what's the best ride at any Disney park that you went on?
You know what? I might say Galaxy's not Galaxy's Edge, just the whole fucking park. Rise of the Resistance. It was really cool being able to just walk around, see AT-ATs, come across a bunch of stormtroopers, Kylo Ren, or as you know, one of our teachers called him Darth Vader. And
I remember that.
Dude, the worst part is it was
too, wasn't
it? Yeah, that's the worst part. It was literally still during Mass because we were all saying Mass still, and then I just hear, and it was so cool seeing Darth Vader, and I'm losing it. Like
that definitely got the Star Wars populace of our school angry.
Oh, definitely. But yeah, it was really cool, especially with like the drop and stuff. So I'd say that was probably my favorite ride. I also didn't have to wait 3 hours, so
that ride was definitely cool. But I have to say, this is just my thing. I feel like because remember we went to Epcot. The last thing we did was Epcot.
Oh, I know exactly what you're going to say.
I originally thought the rides, one of the Star Wars rides, were the best. They were both pretty good. I didn't think the Millennium Falcon one was amazing.
It was all right.
If you have friends, like obviously we all went. Like people went as a group, which was fun. But I'm saying, like, if I wanted to go alone, because that obviously, if you go on the Millennium Falcon thing alone, that's going to be awkward and boring. I'm saying if I'm going to go on a ride again, I got to say the Epcot one. That one was cool.
What was it called? The Space Mission?
Mission Space, I think it was, right?
That's it. That one was awesome.
You don't get to experience the G-force like that very often. That was really cool.
That was awesome. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was an amazing ride, I got to admit.
Definitely. That's easily probably my second favorite.
Yeah. Now, kind of shifting, but on the same topic. So, as you know, I'm a big airplane guy, big aviation guy.
Of course.
So when we flew down to Disney, you know, I slept on the way back because a 2 a.m. wake up's ridiculous. But on the way there, you know, I was looking at the window, making sure the pilot's, you know, doing his job.
Yeah, you're the real pilot here.
Yeah, obviously, I was like, I need a day off, so I'll let you do it. But
exactly, it was his training day. You were expecting.
Exactly, but like we talk about Disney etiquette, like people going out in Disney with bolognese sauce on their t-shirts. It's like, what happened to airplane etiquette? Like, if you're sitting in a regular seat, why are you putting your recliner all the way back? Guy, if you're paying for main cabin, you're not meant to be sleeping in a Ritz-Carlton bed. Sleep upright and go to bed. I don't want your head in my lap as I'm trying to read my phone.
Dude, every single time I get on a plane, I'm just sitting there, relaxing, and the second someone fucking sits either in front of me or behind me, I either get legs up my ass or the seat slams into my balls in front of me.
Yeah.
It's so annoying. I hate it. There's other people on the plane.
I don't get it. Like, what happened to, and this is not just COVID, it's just been happening for a long time now. But, like, after COVID, for some reason, like, people were just like, you know what? Because of COVID, I'm gonna start fights on airplanes now too. Like, I don't even get that either. Like, people are just like, I'm gonna go punch some guy on the airplane. Like,
oh my god, it's like there was that guy who said, you know what? I have a great idea. Let me go punch Mike Tyson while I'm on a plane.
Yeah, I mean that was obviously, that guy's clearly mentally insane. Mike Tyson hit him back. He hit him bad, right? Because the guy threw a water bottle at him, right? And then Mike Tyson like jawboned him.
He didn't just throw a water bottle at him. He was like hitting him in the head. He was like poking at him. Yeah, I think that's what happened at least. Because like from what I heard, Mike Tyson was getting like messed with for a while. And considering it's Mike Tyson,
yeah,
he went a long time without beating the unholy out of him.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Oh, very.
I did not know what the hell that was about.
And then there's the Burger King guy.
The Burger King guy.
Do you remember the Burger King guy with the Burger King crown on the plane?
No, what happened?
Well, let's just say he got really racist, and then he got kicked off.
Well, good.
Yeah. I think we can all agree that.
I can't stand people that, like, let me put this in the right way. If you're going to come out of your basement, because obviously that's what's happening. These people, like, they're getting fights. They're like, they're basement dwellers. They're allowed to see the light for a day, and they don't know what to do with themselves. So, so they get on the airplane like, oh my god, people, and they freak out. And then for some reason they decide to get in the fight, and this is my point. Is like people have lost all sort of filter. Like, when they leave, like, for some reason, I don't know why, but like people are just saying whatever they want in public now. Like, I have no problem with, like, speaking your mind, First Amendment, baby. But people are just, like, openly just, like, saying completely, like, horrific and racist things in public, and, like, then getting mad when people, like, start to, like, arrest them, or you kick them out of planes, or remove them from buildings. Like, you can't just do whatever you want. Like, what happened to people's filters? I don't get it. I don't know.
I don't know. At this point, there's three factors. There's normal people, normal every average day people, and then there's people who are overly sensitive, and then there's people who are not sensitive whatsoever and will say anything.
Yeah. It needs to be fixed.
Oh, definitely.
Now, definitely shifting topics here, but I kind of want to focus on the media topic for the rest of the kind of podcast here. Crazy Monday, I got to admit, Crazy Monday. I'm not getting into politics. This is not a politics show, but Crazy Monday. Tucker Carlson and Don Lemon both fired from amicably split, so fired from their respective networks. That was crazy. That was a mind blow. And like I said, not political. I think everybody was shocked.
Yeah, I was not expecting either of them to get fired anytime soon.
Yeah.
I mean, let me go especially hard with Tucker Carlson. He is the lifeline of Fox News. He is the number one most watched single anchor in all of America.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that they're getting rid of him is crazy. It's like, it's insane. It's just insane.
So last night, he posted on Twitter like a video. I think I sent it to you. And
yeah, I saw that.
He'll be back, whatever. So I saw this article this morning that his Twitter video had more views than the Fox News Tonight, the show that they replaced him with last night. And like, listen, like I said, I'm not getting into Fox. I'm not, blah, 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 that's politics and blah, 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 bad stuff. But my point is like, whether you watch Fox or not, whether you're Republican, Democrat, liberal, from Mars, it was a crazy decision, I think. Maybe a rash one. I think maybe they were angry. I think he said some bad stuff about corporate management. But also, like, it was potentially a a fatal decision, because even though they think they can rebound, because like Fox is always like, we just put whoever we put in that slot, our audience is going to watch. But I feel like Tucker Carlson was different. He garnered this populist support. Like I said, whether you like him or not, he garnered a lot of populist support. People, whether they are entitled to it or not, felt that they were entitled to anger, felt that they were betrayed, and he made them feel this way. He was able to garner 3-4 million people a night that felt this way, that I don't think are just going to give up on him. I have a feeling they're going to follow him where he goes and ditch Brian Kilmeade at 8 o'clock. That's what I think. What do you think?
I got to agree with you 110%. I mean, here's the thing about Tucker Carlson, from what I know from people who do watch him, about why they like him. They like that he is, at least for a conservative, very impartial. Because compare him to someone like Sean Hannity for a second. Like, Sean Hannity, Donald Trump could, like, blow up half the United States, and he'll be like, you see, it was justified. The reason Trump did this is for this reason. But, like, I mean, Tucker, he just calls it the way he sees it, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like for that reason, a lot of people respect him, at least.
Yeah.
I just think overall, getting rid of, like, the number one person who's, like, on your entire news network is stupid. I mean, look at what's happening to Bud Light. I mean, it just really goes to show these people have no clue who their audience is.
Exactly. Like I said, we're not disclosing who, you know, our, like, you know, who we give audience to, but I think it's an obvious fact, you know, that Bud Light's, I guess, consumers were not happy with their decision. And like I said, whether you agree with their decision or not is irrelevant. You have to target to your audience. You know, Fox targets obviously to a right-wing audience. That's obvious. CNN starting to a left-wing audience. That's obvious. That's fine. They're opposite ends of the spectrum. They're pretty much the equivalent. MSNBC's pretty much become irrelevant. So like you have these two networks kind of striving for power. Fox News has more audience, but the question to see when they get rid of the person that's bringing in this audience, do you keep the right populist, or are they going to go with Tucker Carlson and the left-wing media kind of, you know, take over? I don't know. I really don't know. I just think it's crazy though. And same thing for Don Lemon. He said some I mean, granted, Tucker Carlson said some very questionable stuff on air that I thought he would get fired for, and so did Don Lemon. But I didn't expect either of them to get fired. But Don Lemon did have he had some problems lately with who was that?
Was it sexual misconduct?
Well, that might be true too. But I was talking. He said something about Nikki Haley, the presidential candidate for Republican president. He said she was too old or something. She said she was a woman and she was too old or something ridiculous. It was crazy, and even his peers on the left went crazy. So I don't know. I just think it's crazy.
It's an entirely just insane situation overall for all parties.
You know what I think it kind of shows though, and I'm sorry I keep talking about it, but I feel like it shows that the media is becoming extremely, and I think this is obvious, but it's becoming extremely out of touch. You know, like
I think it's becoming irrelevant soon.
Well, it's definitely becoming irrelevant. But does Rupert Murdoch, or I don't even remember who, because they just got CNN just got a new CEO a little while ago. What's his Chris Licht, I think it is, something like that. Mm-hmm. Are they really in touch with the blue collar worker of America or the middle class family? No.
These people are making millions of dollars a year doing nothing but talking on a screen about how oppressed certain other people are. Not even them. It's like, if you haven't gone through certain hardships in life, I feel like you don't really have a right to talk about them in general. Like, exactly. I don't know. I just really think that these people in general, they just don't know what they're talking about. And it's not even a political thing. It's just something in general. These people just say what they think they know, not what they have, like, any experience in. It's just, they can't relate to the modern day people. They're trying to talk to a generation that doesn't really, not really that it doesn't exist anymore, but it's not the mainstream. It's not the ones who are, like, the most populated in this country. They're talking to who they think is, like, you know, the main group of people, but they don't know them. They're just trying to talk to who they think they know. And I just think they're super out of touch.
No, and this goes for both of them. For all of the news anchors, including Tucker Carlson, because they go on the news and like sometimes I watch it and I'm like, and they're talking about how they've been whether it be Don Lemon and he's saying that that Republicans are kind of sidelining minorities, or whether it's Tucker Carlson saying that the establishment is sidelining the populist middle class white Americans, but neither of them have ever been in those situations. Maybe I don't know. I'm not totally sure if Don Lemon's past, but I could tell you that Tucker Carlson wasn't. My point is they just say whatever they need to get advertisement, and that's why the news is so out of touch, because they just like, let me see how many more Bud Light ads I can fit into my my show. They don't care they just spew whatever their director tells them to do, and that's just the truth.
Yeah, overall, I just think it's stupid. I mean, it's people complaining about stuff they've never faced and probably never will face. I mean, I just feel like if they really do care enough, then have people come on the show who have experienced those things they're talking about, who are currently struggling. I just think that they should put their money where their mouth is, They just don't.
100% agree with you. I feel like they really need to. I think what the two firings have shown is just truly how out of touch our American media is. So moving away from that, I kind of want to talk. It's all on the topic of media. It's like, what do we think of the movie spectrum lately? Like, and
movies in general.
When I say lately, I mean like the past, since COVID, really. Like, let's just think about some of the movies that have come out. Like, there was a good James Bond, that came out. What was that? 2 years ago, maybe, I think it was.
I didn't see the new James Bond.
I don't want. You know how angry I get about it. I don't even want to talk about it. But like Cocaine Bear,
that was fun.
Mario.
That one was fun. I gotta admit, that was a fun movie.
No, I agree, it's fun. But like, have movies really been quality? Like, let me hear. Like, what do you think?
I don't know, a little bit. I mean, look at movies like The Batman. I think that was a very good movie.
That was a good one from the time frame.
But in your defense, I can't really think of anything besides The Batman right now. Marvel's been like terrible. That's been in the toilet.
I just feel like the movies in the past, few months, for the past few years have just been like really down the drain. Like here, there's a difference between like, for instance, Cocaine Bear was fun, right? We laughed. It was first off a little gory, but it was fun.
It was way gorier than I thought it would be, but it did exactly what it set out to do, which was be a movie about a bear on cocaine.
But my point is, it's funny. It was not a quality movie. I'm not dissing the movie, but it was not it was not meant to be a quality movie.
It was not looking to be another Godfather.
Yeah, like, and then you got Mario, like, where I got to listen to Jack Black sing Peaches for like 12 hours. It's like, now the only thing I can scroll through on my Instagram Reels is Jack Black singing Peaches, and it's just like, where's the, I don't know what kind of movie, where's the Godfather or the Goodfellas? Like, we need like, I guess there's another Indiana Jones coming out, which I'm a big Indiana Jones guy, and I don't have a lot of faith in that movie, but
I think Harrison Ford's just too old to be somebody like Indiana Jones now.
Yeah, and like I'm saying, I just feel like we have not had a good, like, with the exclusion of like maybe 2 movies, we have not had a lot of quality movies in the past, since COVID, really.
We've had good movies and funny movies, but like there hasn't really been any, like, honestly, recently in time, there just hasn't not been any movie I'd consider like a perfect movie.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Just very mediocre. Very mediocre. Like, there's not been a lot of effort put into a lot of projects lately. Like, I think the worst example of it is definitely Marvel. They've just been regurgitating the same movies over and over and over, and I think everyone's just tired of it at this point.
Yeah. I feel like maybe it also has to do something with the streaming push. Like, a lot of movies aren't even coming out in movie theaters anymore. They're coming out on Netflix. So, like, I guess you could say maybe less effort's being put into them. I don't know, because there's no longer this grand cinema. Because I feel like the cinemas, meaning like the movie theaters, I feel like they're pretty much on the way out. They're becoming irrelevant. Like, we go for fun sometimes, but like,
It's not something we do often.
The majority of people are waiting till a movie comes out on Amazon, or renting it for $3.99, or waiting until it comes out for Netflix for free. Most people are not going to the movie theater anymore, and that's because of COVID, and also just because that's the way technology is pushed. We don't need them anymore. Unfortunately, I think it's a great experience, but sometimes I don't want to go to the movie theater. I want to watch from the comfort of my own home.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but movies are definitely going to be they're not going to be in theaters for much longer. I think within maybe a decade, movie theaters around like the country are really going to start dying off.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's an interesting time for the cinema industry.
Yeah, I do hope they last a lot longer because I really enjoy going to them. Like, I don't do it often, but when I do, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, but I think the problem is people really aren't doing it at all anymore. So it's like, I should say not at all, but I know the 3 movie theaters that have closed around us in the past year. It's like it's sad, but I feel like that's the way we're going. To finish up today, kind of on the topic of same topic of media, I guess. What are your thoughts on this new Jedi Survivor game?
I think it has a lot of potential. I've seen a lot of reviews of it and a lot of people talking about it. It does look really good, I gotta say. My only thing, though, is I just feel like when it comes to certain aspects of it, it just can't beat certain games. Like, here's what I'll say. I think Jedi Fallen Order, I think that was a good game. I think it's very overrated, though. People call it like the best Star Wars game ever made. I don't think it was. I'd say it was like a 7 or 8 out of 10, probably. In my opinion, I think the best Star Wars game, hands down, was like The Force Unleashed. That game was incredible. It had a great story. The characters in it were awesome. And overall, it just made you feel so powerful. Now, that's like what being a Jedi or a Sith should feel like. I think Jedi Survivor is going to be a very good game overall. But, like, I'm not going to have insane expectations for it. I just think it's going to be like a better version of Fallen Order.
So, I agree. Except I think my views on Fallen Order. During COVID, I have to FaceTime you and prop my phone up against my dresser so you can help me figure out how to do parkour.
Oh, you hate parkour and puzzles. I know that.
Parkour games. I should say I hate parkour games that are solely reliant on so much parkour. Like I don't want to have to. Like I feel sometimes like I'm Mario in those games. Like, it's a Mario. I'm jumping every 5 seconds. To go fight a lizard. I don't know.
It's like you with Dying Light.
I don't even want to get started on that. I like parkour games to the extent that they have other things to support them. But I feel like Jedi Fallen Order, like a lot of the combat was like a lot of the main combat was like I don't want to fight like stormtroopers and lizards all the time. Like I want more like throw the Inquisitors at me 12 times. I'd rather do that. I don't know. Maybe I just have an unpopular opinion because I'm bad at parkour. I don't know.
Well, that's a good thing I heard about this new one. So, have you ever played a game called Ghost of Tsushima?
I've heard of it. I never played it though.
So in that game, there were different sword stances you could do that would fight different combats. Like, there was the stone stance that would be effective against swords. There was the water that would be effective against shields. And I think Jedi Survivor is doing something similar to it, where they have multiple stances. So I know 5 of them right now. They have a gun stance where it's like you have a lightsaber and a gun. And, like, I think you can have a couple different blasters. Like, for example, you could, if you buy, like, the deluxe edition, you could get Han Solo's blaster. Okay. And I also know that they have the double-bladed and single-bladed, but they also have the cross-guard, kind of like Kylo Ren, and they have dual-wielding, so you could have 2 lightsabers there.
That's pretty cool.
I think it's pretty good because they all have their own unique benefits. Like, 2 lightsabers does less damage, but it's quicker. The cross-guard is, like, basically having a big, heavy sword where it's, like, slow attacks, but they do way more damage. So it's a very unique game with a lot of different play styles. So I think it's going to be really good from what I've seen.
I guess time will tell. I think we covered a lot of topics today. Thank you guys for watching another episode of the Goodfellers Podcast, and we'll see you next time.
See you, boys.